Alright. Hello everyone, this is my 2004 Volvo V70R, and I like it. I think it's a great car, but I wasn't too crazy about the roof racks, so I took them off. Something to consider when you're taking off your roof rack is that there's a different trim that Volvo has for roof rack versus non-roof rack cars. I already did the other side, and all I did is I just went to the junkyard and found a car that didn't have it and removed it. Now I only did it on one side so that you guys can see the difference. See, this is all one long piece, so it's a little awkward to move around and install, but hopefully I can help in case this is something that you're wanting to do too. So if we check out this side, this is probably the best way to show it, is that these like this trim, it looks like it's kind of like extruded, kind of like it has these like little teeth that go in and grip a rail that's underneath. And when you first remove your roof rack mounts, there's going to be a ton of junk in there, so it can be a little tricky to try to get them off. What I recommend doing is either washing the car or here's a good idea. This is one of the clips that these teeth kind of ride in, and that's what keeps the top bits in place. The sequence that I took is I actually took the front one off first, and then I slid all of the back ones forward. And this is the same trick that I used to get the long piece off on the other side. I pried this up and pulled and just yanked the whole thing off in one go. It's a little tricky because, you know, these are old cars and there's going to be a bunch of junk in there. So just be mindful of that, and you might have to push and pull a couple times. Now, the way that I went about mounting the other side, I'm going to do it on this side too. It's probably the wrong way. No, it is the wrong way, because I didn't use these expensive, or reuse the clips underneath. But we'll get to that in a second. So all you have to do to get these ones off is actually just pry a little bit, and you can hear it. And just so that no one freaks out in the comment section, you know, and see how it just pulls right off. And look at all that beautiful stuff underneath. So my car is a 2004, the automatic, you can see it there. So it's a driver. It's not fancy. It's definitely not the best example. So me putting it the way that I put this back on is not, I don't really care, essentially. But you can see these clips, and these are guaranteed to break when you get them off. Same with this one. And those can go in the trash. And you might want to get the hose and just spray and get all this junk out of the way. And then these will just slide forward. So let me clean this up a little bit, and then I will show you how to slide these off. Alright, so I got to a point where I can actually show the magic here. So again, we have it to a point where this thing can actually be slid relatively easily. So instead of like trying to slide it all the way down each runner until the last runner, which is kind of silly, you know, definitely use your best judgment as you're getting these, because some of these are straight and some of them are contoured. For like this one and the very last one, you don't have to go all the way down to sort of like exit them from the clips. So about, I don't know, halfway over the passenger rear door is where, you know, as I slide it, there we go, I'm just gonna push it, there we go. So we can see that it's over the clip, it's not engaged in it. And this is where I'm just gonna slide it. I'm gonna relative ease, and there we go. All right, leaving these clips intact, and then that just leaves this little guy in the back. Alrighty, so all washed up, just got some car wash stuff and cleaned pretty much this whole area. Made sure that I hosed it out really good. Doesn't have to be, you know, super dry, but just making sure that you are setting yourself up for success, because the next part's gonna be really fun. For that, I recommend getting like a blanket. This is just a, I don't know, doggy blanket, something. Anyways, definitely have something over the fender, because unless you are having another person help you, it's guaranteed that you're going to scratch your fender by trying to do this, because mind you, the piece that we're trying to get on is, you know, what is that, 3/4 the length of the car, and if you have to start here and you have the front end dangling down, it's going to be resting right here as you're trying to thread the needle, starting here, moving all the way back. And that's exactly what I am going to do. That's how I accomplished it on the other side. I just kind of held it, I tried to support it as the best I could, and then just started snaking it all the way back, and then worried about fastening the front for the very end. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be awkward for me to try to film it with one hand, so I'm going to get to a good stopping point and show you my progress. So real quick note here is these are the mounting holes. Where's the other? So 3, 4, and then 5, 6. I like to RTV those, because I don't know, as soon as you take the bolts out for the roof rack mounts, I don't know if that water actually has a place to go. So just wanted to keep that as an important step before you put the new trim on. This is about 30 seconds after getting it set up. You can see how just feeding it through the grooves, you know, nothing crazy here, but you can also see how it's going to scratch your fender or your headlight if you don't be smart and use a blanket. So I'm going to keep on threading it and trying to make sure that I align it, or at least have it kind of be supported back there, and get it all the way down here. So it's going to take a little bit, but I'll be right back. And voila! Well, the hard part's over. For a few of these that were sticking up, I actually just slammed them, and it seemed to work. So it actually doesn't look bad. You know, I got these parts for 12 bucks from the local pick and pull, so I'm definitely okay with that. And then don't forget the little clips back here. You actually have to slide the entire piece forward, put the piece in, and then this slides back. For the last part, that when I mentioned this is the wrong way how to do it, this is what I was talking about. So you'll remember I destroyed those clips, taking the original piece off. All I did to put this back on is I actually masked it all off, and I laid a bead of RTV on this side and another bead of RTV underneath, and you honestly can't tell. If you look at the other side, between the grossness of the original seal and trying to look under, you can't really tell, and then even if you look on here, you can't really tell either, and that's on there. That's not going on, or that's not coming off. So yeah, and guys, this is, like I said, this is not the best example of a V70R, so I don't really care. This thing has dents. You know, it's the rims are not the best of shape, so I don't really I'm not really planning on winning any awards with it, but it's mine and I get to make it how I want. So I hope this video helped out, and yeah, definitely feel free to let me know what you think in the comments or whatever. But I'm going to, like I said, just the last part's pretty easy. Just mask it, lay a bead of RTV, tape it down, let it set, and then carefully remove the tape so you don't destroy any more of the clear coat. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you next time.